So Ogunbowale, she killed it. I mean, she dominated the All-Star game. I mean, like, it was crazy. Just like every single shot went down, right? I mean, like, she just could not miss. And I know a lot of people, because we know this, a lot of people want to see Caitlin Clark ball out. I made a couple videos already with regards to Caitlin Clark and how she broke the rookie record for most assists within an All-Star game, as well as she was on pace to actually break the all-time record for assists, rookie or anyone. And I think that they didn't want her to break that record, which I have a whole video about, which I definitely highly suggest to check out. But outside of that aspect of it, I do want to talk about the benefits of Caitlin Clark, even though Ogunbowale balled out. This is why what Caitlin Clark does, matters so much, okay? Because it's indisputable that the vast majority of fans are there to watch Caitlin Clark ball out. They want to see Caitlin Clark play. They want to see her compete at a high level. They want to see her win the MVP, do all this, have all the assists, have all the points, knock down all the threes. But that's not what happened tonight. She was not the face of this game. Ogunbowale was. And now a fan watches this and says, who the heck is Ogunbowale? I don't even know how to say that girl's name. Who is that? Arike Ogunbowale? Who is that? And they watch her and they're like, oh, look at that. That's nice. That's a nice shot. And they see her keep playing and they're like, oh my God, that's dirty. How did she make that? Man. And now you're still cheering for Caitlin Clark. You're still excited for Caitlin Clark. But now you're being introduced to Ogunbowale. And then you hear Caitlin Clark in an interview say, I think Ogunbowale is the best one-on-one player in the league. And now again, a newer fan who was introduced to the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark, they're now like, oh, Ogunbowale must be really good. I don't really know who she is. And you start watching and you learn more about her. And now before you know it, you're a fan of Ogunbowale. Like, that's the way it happens. That's the benefit of leaning into the greatness and the fame and the ratings machine that Caitlin Clark is. That's why you don't fight it. That's why you don't try to go out of your way to try to have this equality and try to elevate these other women. Just let their game shine. Be honest about the moment. So when Caitlin Clark is clearly balling out or is clearly the best or the rookie of the year or whatever, rather than try to bring her down and artificially elevate someone else, let her play her game. Double, triple, quadruple down on her fame, on her popularity, on her game, and then let the other women's game speak for themselves. So when Ogunbowale balls out, you get to watch it, and you get to say, wow, she's really good, and you learn about it. This is exactly what the other leagues do. The NFL, the NBA, whatever it may be, they don't try to pull down a Patrick Mahomes to elevate a Joe Burrow, a Josh Allen. They let them play their game, let their game speak for themselves. And so for a new fan who was introduced to the NFL via Patrick Mahomes, now when they watch a Josh Allen play, they're like, whoa, Josh Allen's really exciting. And they get into it. They get excited about it. And this happens in basketball all the time. Basketball is such a single person forward game, an individual player forward. You people are LeBron fans, Steph Curry fans. Like, you say that, you hear in basketball so much more that people are an individual player fan than they are a team. Football is definitely more like, I'm an Eagles fan, I'm a Chiefs fan, I'm a Cowboys fan. Like, you hear that more. Basketball, I'm a Steph fan. Oh, I'm a Curry guy. Oh, me, it's MJ over LeBron. No way, man, it's LeBron over MJ. Like, it's very individual. But because of that, though, they get introduced to the game, or they watch a lot of games with those players, and they get introduced to other players. Like, that's how it happens. And I've said this a lot in the past, but it's like, once upon a time, there was a fan of the game. Someone became a fan of basketball, of the NBA, because of LeBron James, because of Steph Curry, right? They were 8, 9, 10, 11, whatever. They got introduced to the game because they heard about this guy, Steph Curry, shooting all these threes, and they got into it, and they were obsessed with Steph. They only cared about Steph. They only wanted to hear about Steph, no one else. But then they kept watching the games, And then they learned about LeBron. Then they learned about Dwayne Wade. Then they learned about Ant. Then they learned about, whoever was still, Kobe Bryant. Probably not Kobe Bryant. But, they learned Klay Thompson, KD. Like, they learned about these other players. And then we're like, KD's amazing. I love KD. Like, that's how it happens. That's why so many people, when KD went to the Warriors, so many Warriors jerseys were sold of KD. Because they were originally all Steph fans, and now they see KD play, and they're like, I love KD's game. And then they maybe even jump away from Steph and now lean more towards KD or more towards Steph, whatever it may be. That's the way it happens when you let those things happen organically. And seeing Ogunbowale shine in this game is the perfect example of that. The perfect example of that. Because of Caitlin Clark, this NBA All-Star Game ratings are going to be through the roof. Through the roof, especially compared to any other previous year. No ifs, ands, or buts, right? No denying that. Because of all those eyeballs, so many people were now just introduced to the greatness of Ogunbowale's game. And now a lot of people are going to be fans of Ogunbowale because they saw her game. They let her game speak for itself. It's that simple. It's that straightforward. We don't have to complicate it any more than that. Caitlin Clark brings the energy. She is the famous one. She is the woman of the decade, seemingly right now. I don't even want to say woman of the hour because that seems too small. Woman of the century. She is dominating this sport, both ratings and on the court, breaking all these records. I can't miss in that regard. And if the WNBA just leans into it more, rather than trying to bring her down or de-emphasize her because they want to emphasize these other women, if they just let the game unfold organically, like we saw here, people will now become Ogunbowale's fans. It's just the way it happens. People who maybe even originally didn't even like Angel Reese and they didn't know anything about her, but they're Caitlin Clark fans, they watch this game and they say, ooh, Angel Reese has a nice game. Look at those rebounds. Look how physical she is. That's just the way it happens. You gotta let things happen organically. Stop trying to force things to fit a narrative rather than just let the game do the talking. Let the game dictate the narrative and the storylines and the media organically. Stop trying to construct something to fit their own preconceived notions. Stop trying to do it in the name of diversity, inclusion, equality, whatever. Sports, that's not how sports works. There is no equality in sports, okay? If that was the case, I'd be balling in the WNBA right now, okay? I'd be knocking down threes and balling out. It's not the way it works. So let Caitlin Clark continue to shine, and then the other women will also be able to shine even brighter because Caitlin Clark is indeed the light. And I guarantee you a lot of people became Ogunbowale fans tonight. I guarantee it. And that's great. That's a beautiful thing. That is by definition growing the game exactly how the WNBA wants it. So just allow it to happen naturally and all your dreams will come true, WNBA. Stop trying to bring down Caitlin Clark. Stop trying to isolate and ostracize the fan base. Let them be passionate about Caitlin, just like we let the fans be passionate about LeBron, Steph, Mahomes, whoever. Stop trying to force us to like other players. Let us just watch the games, watch the other players, root against players, root against teams. And when other stars rise up outside of Caitlin, the fans will follow as well. I promise. It's happened in every single sport, of every single generation, of every single race and gender before. The WNBA isn't special, so just let it go. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Ogunbowale setting the record for points and the fact that Caitlin Clark brought all that attention to this game and now her stock is probably going to go through the roof? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.